Welcome back to The Evil Within. We're in our final part of Chapter 3.
Looks like it might be my only way out.
Of the Kidman story. Kidman's story is told in 2 DLCs. First, The Assignment covers Chapters 1 and 2, and then The Consequence covers Chapters 3 and 4. So we're almost at the end of Chapter 3. This fourth episode will finish Chapter 3. The first 3 parts of the chapter were almost all expose, just kind of going around from cutscene to cutscene, learning more and more about the story, about Mobius's involvement, Dr. Jimenez's motivations, Mobius's motivations. We didn't really learn about Ruvik's motivations, but we learned about Ruvik and how he was made from Ruben Victoriano. True tragedy. But he was such a disturbed young man that, you know, it's almost hard to feel sorry for him, but at the same time, it's if they hadn't done to him what they had done to him, then we might not be in this situation. This episode, everything shifts. There are very few expose cutscenes. We don't follow a lot of ghosts around. We do have a lot of confrontation. Here we're looking for the last piece of the shadow puzzle. We need a little part of a star so that the shadow will match up with the diagram. And I thought it was in here. I forgot. I came in here. It's not in here. You can see that Kidman can take basically one punch. And when she does take a punch, this is how fast she runs. That's with the sprint button pushed down. So she has to extract herself from any physical confrontation she ever gets into. And clearly I had forgotten where what we wanted was. What we want is, it's over to the right in this room on the desk. And instead we went into I thought the janitorial closet there had the part in it. So I thought I'd run in there, grab it, and get out. But notice how fast Kidman heals when she hides, when she sneaks up against a wall like that. So unlike Sebastian, she has to avoid almost every possible confrontation. But also unlike him, she can heal. So everything she does can be recovered almost instantly by hiding. Up to this point, she hasn't had she had a weapon for one little brief period of time in the assignment. She occasionally finds single-use axes that she uses for stealth kills, similar to the way Sebastian used his knife that he always has with him, that is multi-use. Okay, so we're going to take this piece out there and solve our light puzzle. Would you call them a light puzzle or would you call them a shadow puzzle? I debated that back and forth. You use the light to make a shadow, so you need both sides of that, right? And I don't know why. This is always the hardest part of the puzzles to me. It's like I can't. If I was there in real life, it would be easy to just move the flashlight around, but she never really quite wants to hold it in place where I want to hold it. So that opened an elevator. I was kind of expecting something more grand than that, but
this is your last chance to prove yourself to us, kid. Don't let us down. Bring the boy to us.
Stop it! Get out of my head!
So that might be what you call a tipping point, a spot where she's given an ultimatum, this is your last chance, and she's basically denied it. There's a save point coming up here where we can pet the cat. Seems like Resident Evil always had pianos in them too, but you could always play the piano, do something with the piano, so I wanted to do something there. Once we pet the cat, we've rejected the ultimatum. The rest of this episode is going to be hard. You can see there's a pretty drastic cut there. I could in no way blend the video when I would restore to that save point. So I'm not trying to hide anything. I die a bunch of times here. Up until this point, I'd done pretty well. I'd really only kind of died in a couple of spots. I showed one death because it just looked so good on camera inside the assignment. And I haven't died during the consequence up to this point. I mean, there was nothing to die from, really. Well, maybe that server room. You saw how close I got to dying a couple of times in that server room. I may have died in there once or twice. I can't remember for sure. But this I found to be a challenge. More challenge because I was trying to. Well, I was trying to do it in kind of a specific way. And I'll talk you through what my goal was here. When you run down there, that glowing blue dot is a handgun, and so Kidman is now armed. And the goal here is to take out the guy on the gondola by shooting the barrel that's next to him. It really should only take one shot if you time it right, but I shot very poorly there. I mean, I was hitting him. It wasn't a complete waste, but now the goal here is to stop them next to this barrel. If you shoot one and it falls down like that, then the others kind of trip up on him a little bit. Once you get all three there, one shot kills all three of them. You don't have a whole lot of ammo. One of these guys will drop some ammo. Here it is. When we first jumped off that up there, we could have walked back here and you'd have seen them milling around in this room. This is where they came from. There's some more ammo in here, so you should have a full magazine and a full sidekick. Now more are going to come. You're going to do the same trick again by the fire barrel that's just outside the door here. What I found is if you're not real careful about your placement here, they'll run up here, they'll see you. When he starts to run, you need to make sure that they stop there. Once all three are there, set the fire all on fire. This one's a little trickier. You want to be. They're going to come. Two are going to. One's coming from the right. One's coming from the left on the other side. I got kind of lucky that barrel he was so close enough to it. Now you want to run these two. You want them to come down in here, and ideally you would have gotten them. You'd hit the barrel at the right time and gotten both of them. I screwed up, but we weathered it. You notice that at the beginning of this sequence when we got off the couch, she saw Sebastian down there. If you remember, that's kind of a gauntlet that he has to run through to get onto the gondola and get through. I don't think it's the same gondola, at least it doesn't lead to the same place, so. But he would be in chapter, what would that be? Chapter 11? Yes, he would be in chapter 11 at this moment, kind of going through the same construction site. So that was the first part of the action. We had our first little stealth encounter, then those 3 waves, and now we are about to spend an inordinate amount of time in a boss fight. We're going to fight with Shade. Obviously, Paranoia is meant to elicit some mean from her current mental state. And you just drop in there
I'm not running.
with her looking at you. And this arena is so dark. You need to kind of get a feel for how to get around in here. A lot of people say you have to shoot her in the light, in the light fixture in her head, basically. I don't do that here. Namely, anytime I'm looking at that light, she's affecting Kidman so much that I'd never feel, I can't get the shots off. Kidman puts her hands up over her head, shades her eyes. Anytime she screams like that, she's gotten some sort of glimpse from you. The key to getting away from her is to run as quick as you can to a corner and turn the corner. Because once you get the light off of you, then you can actually move again. So you don't want to spend a whole lot of time in the light. You can see resource management's a bit of a problem. If you run out of ammo, they will place some more ammo around the room. It's probably even hard to see her there, but I tried to get shots on her. And anytime you see your back is lit up like that, then she's seeing you and you've got your hands over your head, so that's as fast as you can move. And she's between us and the camera now. Jeez. Okay. As soon as you break that light, you need to be sprinting. And as soon as you can, get ducked around behind a corner in one of these dark corners. There are basically these poles and these carts or whatever that are next to them. You can't move anything in here, but see, as soon as she looked at me, I couldn't fire anymore. I can't fire, so it's hard to hit her in the head in the light. At least I find it hard. Just keep trying to move around those corners. Obviously I moved too far there. Your goal is to keep as much distance between the two of you as you can. Because when you're in that state where you can't run, it's you're very vulnerable. That was a shot in the headlight. I got up a lot of shots. I'm not sure how effective they were. And don't get me wrong, we did this a lot of times. There's a cut as soon as you go through that white light and you come in and she's looking at you in the room. That's a consistent place where I was able to cut in easily. So don't think I'm doing this on one try. It was not one try. It was a lot of tries. It may be tempting to try to shoot her when you're close to her like that, when she's a bigger target and you can see her better, but it never works out well. You want to get distance and you want to get her hunting for you instead of chasing you. If you're ducked down, as soon as she shines that light on you, Kidman will stand up and do that kind of hunched over thing that's irritating. You'd almost be better off just closing your eyes and running, girl. can see we're very low on ammunition. I was having such a hard time because I used up too much ammo in the last foray with those zombies. So at one point I almost gave up, and I tried to use an axe on her. It didn't do anything. I didn't get close enough to her to swing it, but she just immediately eats you. It's so dark and so hard to get around. There's only one kind of place that you can run that is essentially a dead end, and that's if you go towards where the gate that eventually opens up. If you get in that, there's no getting back out if she's behind you. Other than that, you're mostly okay. She moves slightly faster than you when you're hunched over like that, but as long as you can, she doesn't corner well. You can get around the corners. So you can see kind of the strategy. I'm not necessarily doing it very well, but the strategy is to get her across the room from you, shoot her as she chases you to break away, get some distance again, not engage until you have that distance. But every time she sees you, you draw her back, and then you have to work at getting that distance all over again. The problem is trying to understand where she is so that you can get that distance. And those long legs, that covers the arena quickly. It's been quite a while since we got a shot off now. This is usually where I start to get frustrated with the time it's taking. Take chances that don't pay off.
Did Ruvik send you? Well, I hope he gets the message.
It's a very satisfying kick. Alright, so we know we're not going to have to deal with Light Lady anymore. Shade is dead. I'm looking to find any other handgun ammo that I might have been dropped for me since I was so low. Like I said, it will continually feed you more ammo if you run out. I don't know if that goes on forever, but I know it. I know that there will be places where I found ammo that there wasn't ammo there previously.
Kidman, are you in there?
Sebastian?
Kidman, it's me.
This is the point where Sebastian thinks he's saving Kidman on the balcony with all the zombies.
If you hadn't come along.
Save it for later. There are probably more of them around.
Still in chapter 11 of the main game. And it skips through the fighting there, straight to the part where Sebastian started to turn when he heard the...
Sebastian?
the beacon stem, the wireless version. This is where Sebastian thinks that Kidman shot him.
She's my responsibility.
She shot Ruvik, or shot at Ruvik. I don't know that it hit him, but
I'm sorry for putting you through this. I don't want to hurt you any more than I already have.
He might try to stop me through you.
I remember her main goal was originally to bring Leslie back to Mobius. It's no longer clear that that's what she's going to do. She's still trying to figure out a puzzle of...
A little hasty with that gun, kid. What is it you plan on doing?
What I have to do.
No! You do what we say. You will come back with that boy, or you will disappear.
So just like at the end of Chapter 2 of the assignment, run and avoid the hands. I showed you in the assignment what it looks like when you die this way. It does look cool, but I'm going to avoid dying this time.
You run because you're weak. You're afraid of us.
Whoa, what the fuck is that?
So now you know where we're headed. We're headed towards Chapter 12 of the main game. There's the bus. We're going to rejoin with Sebastian and Joseph there.
Yippee.
She's excited because she thinks she killed Joseph in the assignment.
Only one way to
if you
find
remember.
out.
Shit!
Well, they're going to take their bus ride, and that is going to end Chapter 3 of The Consequence. And we will see you next week with Chapter 4, the conclusion of the Kidman story. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.
Fuck this place.